Chapter 1. The Ninth Floor.
When Clara joined the accounting department on the ninth floor, she didn't expect much more than spreadsheets, quiet mornings, and polite nods in the hallway. She liked routine. It made life feel manageable. Her desk was by the window, where sunlight spilled in just after 9 a.m., and she arrived early enough to make tea before the phone started ringing. The ninth floor never fully quieted. Keyboards clicked like soft rain. Someone's phone always buzzed at the wrong moment. The break room microwave beeped impatiently, and laughter, real unrestrained laughter, floated through the air more often than not. It wasn't chaos exactly, just alive. She liked that. Clara had transferred in from a much stricter company where smiles were rationed and conversations were whispers. Here, people decorated their desks with silly mugs and fake plants. Someone had a tiny rubber duck that appeared on different desks each morning, like a harmless prank passed from hand to hand. It was during her first rubber duck sighting on her first day that she met Daniel. She noticed him, not because he was loud or flashy, but because he wasn't. He worked in operations, 2 desks away, with neatly rolled sleeves. The ninth floor was already awake. Chairs rolling, keyboard tapping, someone humming off-key to a pop song. She stood near her new desk, smoothing her skirt, reminding herself that she was competent and capable, and absolutely belonged there. A rubber duck slid onto her desk. She stared at it. A voice said behind her, amused. You've been chosen. Clara turned. The man smiling at her held a stack of folders and looked too calm for someone who had just introduced chaos via toy. I'm sorry, she asked. He chuckled. It means you're officially part of the team. I'm Daniel, operations. Clara, accounting. She picked up the duck. Do I keep this? For today, he said. Tomorrow you pass it on. She smiled before she could stop herself. Chapter 2. Fire Alarm Etiquette. The fire alarm shrieked mid-morning. Clara froze. Everyone else sighed. False alarm, someone muttered. Don't panic, someone yelled. It's probably fake. Clara followed everyone outside anyway. Outside, rain misted the air. Clara hugged her cardigan tighter until an umbrella appeared above her head. Daniel stood beside her, careful not to crowd her. Friendly reminder, he said. Always bring an umbrella, or stand near someone who did. She laughed. You're very prepared. Years of accidental drills. They stood together, listening to rain and distant laughter. I was nervous about starting here, Clara admitted. But now I think I like this place. He glanced at her. Good, we like you too. The next morning, Clara stood by a broken printer, staring at it, blinking in disbelief as it swallowed her paper for the 3rd time. Daniel appeared beside her, sleeves rolled higher. Let me guess, he said gently. It only jams when you're in a hurry. She laughed, an easy, surprised laugh. Is it that obvious? He fixed it under a minute. Before leaving, he tore a small page from his notebook and wrote down the extension number of the one printer that always worked. Just in case, he said. They didn't plan their first lunch together. Clara simply found Daniel sitting alone in the break room, poking at his sandwich. That looks tragic, she said. It is, he replied solemnly. Care to keep it company. They sat side by side, talking about weekend plans and office quirks. From then on, they began collecting small moments. Not dates, never dates. Just 2 coworkers who happened to walk to the same cafe, then started saving seats for each other. They talked about favorite childhood cartoons, the strange comfort of routine, and how adulthood felt nothing like they'd been promised. Daniel revealed he once wanted to be a teacher. Clara admitted she still got nervous before presentations, even after years of practice. From the on, lunch became a habit. One Monday morning, Clara found a sticky note on her monitor. You got this from Dee, written on it. She smiled and looked around. Daniel pretended not to notice her smiling and smiled secretly. By Friday, there were more notes. Doodles, jokes. Their desks slowly reflected their closeness. Sticky notes passed between them. inside jokes scribbled in margins. Daniel started leaving Clara little doodles on her monitor when she looked stressed, and tiny cats in suits waving encouragingly. Their desks became an extension of their conversations, small, tender, ongoing. Eventually, the office noticed. "You two are cute," someone said casually. Clara nearly dropped her mug. "We are not." "We are," Daniel tried to say, but everyone just laughed. Later, she whispered, "Does that bother you?" He thought carefully. "I like being near you, whatever people call it." She smiled. "Me too." Deadlines arrived like storms. Clara rubbed her temples. "I hate spreadsheets." Daniel slid a cup of tea towards her. "Temporary hatred is allowed." She looked at him. "You stayed." "I wanted to." They worked quietly. When she sighed, he looked up. "You okay?" She nodded. "I'm glad you're here." "Me too," he said, meaning more than one thing. One morning, Daniel stood in the break room, fidgeting. "Clara." "Yes." "Would you like to go on a real date with me?" he asked nervously. She laughed gently. "I thought you'd never ask." Loving Daniel felt steady. Their relationship grew the way cozy things do, through shared routines, Sunday mornings, grocery lists, quiet support during bad weeks, laughter during good ones. They kept things professional at work, but their affection showed in softer ways. A year later, the office gathered for a celebration. Clara thought it was for a promotion. Instead, Daniel stood at the front, nervous in a way she'd never seen him before. "I met the love of my life in this office," he said, voice steady despite everything. "She makes even spreadsheets feel meaningful, and ordinary days feel like enough." He knelt. "Will you marry me?" The ninth floor erupted. Clara said yes through tears and laughter, coworkers cheering, rubber ducks lining the desks like witnesses. They married on a warm afternoon, surrounded by friends, some of whom they'd met at work. Daniel still rolled his sleeves the same way. Clara still arrived early for tea, and sometimes, when the office hummed just right, they'd smile at each other, grateful for the moments and the love that grew exactly at its own pace. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe.